First, we begin with our Dave Puglisi, who has the latest on the investigation at Bradley. Dave?
And the Collins Foundation Wings of Freedom event is supposed to give people an opportunity to fly historic planes like the B17 bomber. There were 13 passengers and crew members on board this flight that would ultimately crash just off of runway 6. Tonight, we're learning more about what happened and some of the heroism involved.
Tower Boeing 93012 is ready for takeoff.
Bradley air traffic controllers can be heard clearing the historic World War II bomber to take off.
Number 012, what's your weight class category?
We're about 44,000 pounds. We don't carry bombs anymore.
The B-17, also known as the Flying Fortress, is owned by Collins Foundation out of Stowe, Massachusetts. 10 passengers and 3 crew members were on board the short 20-minute flight. They were to fly 20 miles east, staying around 2,000 feet in the sky. 5 minutes into the flight, at 9:50 a.m., the pilot would contact the tower to report an issue and ask to return to the field.
And what's the reason for coming back?
Got number 4 engine. We'd like to return and blow it out.
Or 012, Roger. You can proceed onto the downwind for runway 6, and you said you need an immediate landing?
When you get a chance, yeah.
The pilot's voice will remain calm as he communicates with air traffic control. The tower gives the pilot permission to land on runway 6.
93012, how's your progress to runway 6?
We're getting there.
The B-17 would circle back to the runway. Witnesses would describe the sights and sounds of what happened next.
Heard a distant rumbling and saw a massive cloud of smoke come from the direction of the airport and feared the worst, that he hadn't made it back.
He was way too low. He was way too low. When I ran over to the field, and actually a guy had turned around in his car and he's like, oh my God, I thought it was going to land on me.
They impacted the instrument landing system stanchions. The plane veered to the right, crossed over a grassy area, crossed over the taxiway, and impacted a de-icing facility.
The plane would burst into flames. 7 people on board the plane would lose their lives. 6 others were taken to the hospital with injuries. There were 2 employees in the de-icing facility at the time of the crash. 1 would sustain injuries. 2 Simsbury firefighters were also on board and survived. A National Guard member on the plane would also survive. He had a broken arm and had burns. He has since been released from the hospital. 1 responding firefighter suffered minor injuries and was treated at the scene. He was part of the massive response involving EMS, the National Guard, and more than 70 local and state police.
A very courageous individual that went towards the plane and assisted folks in getting out. There's also some stories that will unfold later on about folks that were on that plane that were able to open a hatch and assist others in leaving.
Now, the NTSB says a preliminary investigation will be completed in the next 7 to 10 days. Right now, they're asking anyone who witnessed the event, has video or photographs, to email the NTSB at witness@ntsb.gov with anything that you feel is important to the investigation. Right now, live at Bradley International Airport, Dave Puglisi, Fox 61 News.